welcome back to Current Talk. I'm Faith.
And I'm Cameryn, and welcome to Life Update Part 3. So, if you are just stumbling upon this podcast, hello, we are Current Talk Podcast. I'm Cameryn, and my co host is Faith, and we do a college, lifestyle, society, and current events podcast, and we upload every single week on Fridays. And we would love to have you join our mini podcast family that we have here. So, definitely follow or subscribe. But this is our third and final part of our mini life update series that we are doing on our podcast. If you, again, are new, you wouldn't know that. It's been a very long time since Faith and I have been doing Current Talk for a while, and we're very excited that we're getting back into it this year in 2022. So definitely after you're done listening to this episode, or if you want to, definitely go listen to Life Update Part 1 and Part 2 on Apple, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast. And yeah, we're just going to be talking about our future plans. So both Faith and I will be going into detail of what life will look like for the most part when we both graduate from undergrad. If you didn't know, we're currently juniors in college right now, and we are on track to graduate here very soon, which is very, 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 very exciting, but also very scary. We started this podcast November of 2019, so our very first semester of college, and the fact that we're literally about to go into our last few semesters of undergrad, and we're still doing this podcast it's a lot to think about, and it's a lot to take in, but we're very excited. So Faith is going to go ahead and go first, and yeah, what are your current, or I guess of as of right now, your future plans for after undergrad, Faith?
So, I've been thinking about this a lot just with, also for those of you who don't know, and probably you all should know if you've listened to the part one where I talk about being a nursing student, but I am planning to be a nurse. So that is something that I'm looking forward to after I graduate, passing my NCLEX, getting my nursing license. So that's a big thing for me. I also do plan to go to grad school. I'm currently it may change, but I'm currently thinking of becoming a psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner. So, hopefully, right after nursing school, I'll go straight into grad school. But that also could change too. So, I will let you guys know if anything changes in that regard. But that is what I'm planning so far in terms of like my education and going forward in that. Um, Shooting ahead past grad school, I plan to get into some business, whether that be like having my own business as a psychiatric nurse practitioner, or just doing another business on the side that doesn't really involve nursing or practicing with my like degree that I have, but just um, having like another business that is kind of like something that I enjoy. I have talked a little bit with like my parents about it. So just like some other avenues that I'm thinking about. Um, Another thing that I'm planning to really do, especially when I do get out into the workforce, is focusing a lot on investing, and I feel like a lot of young people are really into investing right now, especially just with having more access to like investing videos, just learning more about investing and where to invest your money, especially if you don't have a family, you're not currently like you're not currently married, not don't really have a lot of commitments. I feel like that is a time to really invest into um, where really put your money like where you want it to go, because I feel like as you get married and start having kids, it's going to be harder to invest. So that's something that I'm really passionate about, and especially when I get into the workforce, it's something that I'm going to be doing. um, and as of now, I'm currently trying to research just like different investing books and um, different, I guess, websites and stuff that I can look at to help me decide where to put my money towards. And not even just investing in like stocks and all that, but investing in real estate, investing in different avenues to have that passive income. So that is what I'm currently doing right now. I think in the future, Cam and I might have a special episode on investing and finances. I know we kind of talked about it a little bit, but hopefully in the future we will have a podcast specifically diving a little bit deeper into that. So, really excited for that. But that's kind of something that I'm kind of focusing on. Um, but yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking about at the moment. I know, especially thinking going back to nursing. I know some of you guys who are in nursing school who are wondering what type of nurse I want to be when I, you know, get right into the workforce. Um, at this point, I do want to do something more in psych, but I'm not really sure at this point. But I do want to work in the VA. I've been very passionate about just um, veterans, and even though I don't have anyone who's like worked in the military, I just feel like our veterans just deserve like so much more, and I feel like there needs to be, you know, a lot of change that happens regarding veterans, and um, I'm just very committed to work at the VA, and hopefully they'll take me. So if anyone's from the VA in Chicago, feel free to, you know, let me know if there's any openings in 2023 so I can apply. So yeah, that's something that I'm really passionate about, and hopefully that's something that I can do in the future. So um, at this point, I'm kind of done with what I need to say. I'm probably gonna pop in, you know, like when you're talking, Cam, if anything else pops up. But I also want to hear what you got to say because you got some great stuff on the notes that we have here. So I'm really excited for you to talk about your future plans.
Yes, and even before we dive into my section, I just want to say I'm very, as a friend, as a best friend, I'm very proud of Faith on her nursing journey that she is embarking on so far. And I know that there is nothing but success to come, not just within her personal nursing endeavors, but even as she starts to get into the field, into the practice, and starting her own business, her own franchise of it. I'm just very excited for her, and I'm very excited to see it in the future. And it's like one of those things where like you sit down and you talk about it with friends, and then it's like when you're actually there, it's like, man, we were talking about this when we were in college, and like looking back, like, and now we're here, and it's like it's crazy. So I'm so excited for Faith. I truly am, and I'm just so excited. I already know that she is definitely going places with her nursing, and also we already plugged this in the beginning of the episode, but she actually went into really big detail about her first semester of nursing school in our first life update episode. So definitely go watch the episode if you want more. Just more insight if you are currently a nursing student, or if you are thinking about nursing and seeing if it's for you. Definitely go listen to what she has to say, because I think that would definitely give you a great mind of that. um, but yeah, so as you all know, I am a communications major right now. I'm a communications major with the concentration of media and cinema studies, and a lot of my classes that I'm taking, or that I have taken, in the past kind of revolve around film production and going into filmmaking. Because if you all didn't know, I aspire to be a film director or executive producer for an entertainment company one day. And as of right now, I am on track to graduate from undergrad this December of the year. And I am looking at a lot of grad schools right now. That has been the biggest thing on my to-do list this past winter break, is just making a list and start um, the application process, in a sense of getting things together. There's letter of recommendations I need to get from professors. There's essays I have to write. There's transcripts I need to mail. So just getting all of that ready now, just so that when I go into the summer and even when I start my last semester of college, that will be one less thing I have to worry about. But as of right now, it's looking like a lot of what I will be going into regarding that whole film production route is all on the West Coast. So I'm most likely going to be relocating to the West Coast after undergrad. I'm not exactly sure where I will be going or where I'll be relocating to, but I'll obviously in future podcast episodes keep you guys up to date on that. And then after graduate school, I hope to also attend film school to get any like certain certificates that I would need and just extra professional practice in that field, and also network a little bit in that industry. And also, if you are new here, you wouldn't know that I am a huge Disney fanatic. For the longest time that I could remember, Disney has always been the end goal and has always been a dream of mine to work professionally in the future. And that's ultimately where I want to end up as far as filmmaking goes, whether I'm working in animation, whether I'm doing like live action production on a set. That's definitely somewhere I see myself being, and somewhere I see myself um, just overall being happy. And I just have, for the longest time, admired the company and just everything that it entails. And I just definitely see myself within the company there. Also, I am like out of breath. I'm so sorry. Um, I'm also a content creator. If you didn't know, I do have my own YouTube channel. It's called Cameryn Grace. You should definitely subscribe. And I do a lot of just in general lifestyle content. I've been getting into doing more Disney content as I get the opportunity to. But I've just been documenting my life on there for the past almost 6 years. I think this past December was my 6 year mark on YouTube, which is pretty crazy. It doesn't feel like I've been making videos for that long, but you
Yeah.
know, time flies. I still even go back on my YouTube channel and I look at my videos that I made from like freshman, sophomore year of high school, and I was like, dang, like that was really 6 years ago. That's crazy.
Wow.
Um, and it's just overall been like my video diary. I sometimes reference it as to Good Luck Charlie, in a sense of I'm documenting my life like Teddy does with her recording camera, just to like look back on in the future. Which Good Luck Charlie is a very great Disney Channel show. You should definitely go watch it. It's on Disney Plus. Gotta plug Disney Plus. But yeah, I really love content creating, not just for YouTube, but also this podcast and just like other things. It's truly one of the best ways to escape from reality for me. And I'm constantly getting inspiration from some of my favorite content creators, podcasters, just seeing how they're living their lives and, succeeding with it is just motivating me even more to keep trucking, keep pushing at it. And, we'll see where it takes me with that. And then finally, just like Faith, I'm not exactly sure what type of business I want to start, but I definitely do see myself starting some sort of business of some type in the future. I'm not exactly sure, but obviously when that time comes, I'll let y'all know. in an episode. But I've always had an entrepreneur mind, and I just think that that just in general fits kind of just like, I guess, my mantra, in a sense. So whatever happens, I'll let you guys know. Um, Hopefully it will align a little bit with just like my interests, but we'll see. There's just a lot I want to do, so much I want to accomplish, and we'll just have to also see also with the world and just what the world's going to look like too, because everything is unknown, as we all know. As much as we plan, anything can happen tomorrow, next week, the whole shebang. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
long, yeah, you can go. Sorry.
No, you're
Yeah.
good. Another thing that I wanted to bring up too is as we are recording this podcast, we are in the new year of 2022. And one thing that I just wanted to bring up kind of as a question is, there's been a lot of talk about New Year's resolutions and how to prepare for the new year. And there's been a lot of studies coming out saying, like I'm doing, instead of doing a New Year's resolution, I'm doing, this, whether it be choosing a word for the new year or setting just goals in general that you want to like do and like work on. Um, so I'm kind of asking you, Cam, and I'll ask this question. I'll answer this question too. Um, what are you doing this year that is new, that you kind of want to focus on, or just like a word that you've been thinking about, if you do have one that you're planning to work on or do in this new year?
That is a great question. And immediately as you were asking that question, I immediately went to my Apple Notes. We are really just plugging Apple. Apple, if you're listening this, we have a business email. We would love a sponsorship. But
Wink,
I pulled out handy dandy
wink.
Apple Notes. Apple Notes has been my holy grail for so long. I honestly can't even remember the first time I ever made an Apple Note on my phone. I literally brain dump my entire life into Apple Notes in like so many different folders, so many different separate notes. Like it's actually kind of bad. I currently have 403 notes on my Apple Notes folder, and it's on the cloud, which is nice. I can access it from my MacBook, I can access it from my iPad, the whole thing. Um, and I literally planned my whole life on here, and it's just been, the Bible for me for life, which we love that. But I have an Apple Note here of just all of the intentions, all of the goals, and I guess you can say resolutions that I have for myself for 2022. But instead of me going through all of them, I guess one word that I have that I think sums up all of them is I want to live life carefree. And this goes with a lot of different areas in my life. This goes with you know, content creation, YouTube, this podcast. This goes with, expressing who I am as a person. This goes with, just being, I want to say, more me. I feel like even in high school, I always was never Cameryn 100%. I feel like I was always Cameryn 25, Cameryn 50, Cameryn 75. I never was like Cameryn, you know what I mean? And I feel like, especially with social media and just like, we're always hearing what other people have to say about everything. It can be very hard and very discouraging to let your light shine and to really just like show the world who you are. Um so I think that's my mantra for this year, is to live for me and to live for myself, and to kind of have this mindset of like, if I want to do it. If I want to like something. If you know what I mean, if you know what I mean, kind of having that like, it's on me, that type of mantra, because I'm still working on it. To this day, this is something that I'm still working on, is just to not care what people think, live life for you. If people really have something to say, that's them. Life goes on. Don't let it get to you. Um, and yeah, just living life for Cameryn is my mantra for 2022 for sure.
Yeah, and I totally felt that when you were talking about high school and how, you would be like Cameron 50 or 25. And I felt that especially like in high school. Because I'm gonna be honest, like I felt like a robot. Like I didn't even feel me. I felt
Yeah,
when I was me, I was in college. That's where I felt like the most me, and
yeah.
that's where like a lot of myself came out, and I was
Mhm,
learning more about myself because I feel like in high school I was doing so many things. I was waking up at 5 a.m. and it was boom
mhm,
boom boom like all these stuff. Not only did I have school, I had orchestra, I had sports, I had a lot going on. So there
mhm,
wasn't a lot of time for me to like focus on myself and what I wanted and like what kind of I was striving for. So I
mhm.
totally feel you on that. I think for me personally, I think I just want to be intentional about things.
Yes,
Intentional about
yes.
my time, what I'm doing, the people that
Mm,
I'm hanging around.
mm,
And it's not like I would, I'm like horrible at like being intentional, but I feel like sometimes like I during the day, like especially when it's like the end of the day, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, like what did I do?" Like
mhm,
sometimes I feel like I'm not being intentional about like what I do.
mhm,
And I think that leads me to think, oh, I haven't really done as much as I wanted to do. And not
mhm,
and it's not that I had a ton to do that day. It's just that I felt like I wasn't being intentional throughout the day. Um,
mhm,
so that's kind of like a word for me. It's kind of a weird word. I haven't seen a lot
mhm.
of people like say that word, but I just want to be more intentional with my
Yeah.
time and just um, living
Mhm,
life without, not a lot of worries because I feel like I worry a lot. And for me,
mhm,
like the big thing that I struggle with is just like perfectionism,
mhm,
like I think I need to let that go, and I'm starting to let that go, especially with nursing school because,
mhm.
especially that semester, a lot of things did not go out as I planned.
Yeah.
And like I was able to grow from that, um, so that
Mhm,
was really good. But yeah, I think this year just being intentional, and then also one big thing that I really want to start doing is I want to start, reading and reading things that will help me grow. I
mm,
mentioned, investing. So this year I'm trying to read a lot of investing books and a lot of books that will help me just like um, kind of make my life more like productive and also more intentional. So I've bought these books. Let me pull them out for y'all to see. I got three books that I want to share, and they're probably very popular. I'm pretty sure everyone has heard about these in some shape or form, but um, this year I'm planning to read a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. So,
yes, I've read that book. That
yes,
book is amazing. You
yes.
will thoroughly enjoy that book.
I know, and
That's
I've been
all. Yeah.
yes, and I've been hearing some great stuff about that book,
Mhm,
and I'm just really excited to read it because I've been meaning to read it for a very long time, and
mhm,
hopefully, probably I won't have a lot of time this semester, but I'm planning to get a lot of my reading done over the summer just
mhm,
because like I'm gonna be traveling a lot and I just need I feel like I'm gonna have a lot of time on my hands over the summer, so that's good.
mhm.
Another book that I'm planning to read too is the 5 a.m. Club. So I'm very excited
Yes.
about that. I heard
Mhm,
it was very Also a really good book by
Mm-hmm.
people. And yeah, just something that I'm planning to read.
Yeah.
Another book too that I'm sure is very popular is basically Atomic Habits. So,
Yes. That is so good. Yes.
and
Yes.
I'm gonna be honest, like I need to change some habits.
Mm-hmm.
There are some habits that I am like, I should really change. But I
Mm-hmm.
never, like, I say I'm going to change it. I say I'm going to wake up earlier. I'm going to be, more productive with my day, more intentional. And it just never happens. And I keep telling myself this, and it's just like nothing's happening. So I
Mm-hmm.
think this book is really going to help me. And hopefully, if you guys are struggling with some habits, some bad habits, I recommend reading this book. And if you
Mm-hmm.
guys have read these books and have some great things to say, let us know. You can either message us, even message me
Mm-hmm.
through Instagram, and just let me know. Let me know what you've learned from that book. Let me know, what you maybe didn't even like. And also, like, give me some other recommendations of books that you guys have read and just want us to read. And honestly, we
Mm-hmm.
can even start doing like some episodes about some books that we've read that have been really helpful
Yes.
in our lives. So totally,
Yes.
guys, honestly, watch this year of an episode about our favorite books that we've read, any
Mm-hmm.
recommendations, any book reviews, because I know, Cam, you are a bookworm. You like to read a
Yes.
lot. So
We
um,
love, yes.
yeah, so
We,
y'all,
yes.
y'all stay tuned for those book reviews because they're about to be real and they're about to be good.
They will be coming. Yes, man, we
Yeah.
love reading in this house.
Yeah.
Yes, we do. Um, yes, I'm excited. That's also something I want to do more this year is read. And the biggest reason why I haven't read that much is because either A, I've been too busy, or B, I've just been burnt out from reading so much for school that reading for pleasure will feel like a chore. And I don't want it to
Yeah.
feel like a chore. So we may have to put it on the back burner for the summer, which will probably most likely happen, just because this semester is going to be very busy.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
I feel that. I
yeah,
completely feel that. I was
mm-hmm,
looking at my schedule this year and I said, yeah, probably in the summer. May read like a tiny pinch, but probably not going
yeah,
to start intensely reading until the summer.
yeah,
Also, if you guys are wondering what I'm taking this semester, oh boy, it's something else. I'm
yeah,
taking med surge, which if any of you have been in nursing school or are planning to be in nursing school, you probably have heard horror stories. Um, and
mm-hmm,
I'm trying to be positive about it. I know it's going to be rough, but I'm very I'm trying to be positive.
mm-hmm,
And hopefully we'll get through it, this semester. Another class also that I'm taking is behavioral health, so like mental health and all that.
mm-hmm.
And hopefully, after that class, I'll feel even more motivated to be a psych nurse. But also that may change, so we'll see about that. Another class that I'm taking is Patho Part 2. So I took Patho last semester, and I'm taking Patho again because, of
Mm-hmm.
course, there's more meds. So gotta
Yeah,
gotta extend Patho for another semester. And then
mm-hmm.
I'm also taking professional nursing, which is gonna, I assume, involve more research. We're also reading this book called The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks, I believe, and it's about
Hmm.
a um a black farmer whose cells were taken without her knowledge and was used
Okay.
in medicine, which,
Mm-hmm.
obviously not really surprised that they did that, especially,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
very, I felt like I've heard about her. So I'm really excited to read this book. Um,
Hmm.
so yeah,
We will
even though,
definitely we will definitely need a book review on that and
oh
a
yes,
book episode. That like just hearing the title, I'm intrigued. I want to
yeah.
hear more. Yeah.
It's a very, I mean, it's a New York Times bestseller, and
It
it's
must be
very
good
thick,
then. Hmm.
very thick.
Yes.
So
Yes,
pray for
ma'am.
my sanity this semester, because not only are we going to read this thick book, but also the ton of textbooks I also have to read this semester. So pray for my sanity this semester. Pray for any nursing student this semester, because we are really feeling it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of books, I still haven't got my books for next year. Need to do that. It's pretty much. I think I've been putting a lot of stuff that I need to prepare for the semester on the back burner simply because I don't want to accept the fact that I have to get ready for another semester, and I don't want to accept that winter break is ending and a semester is about to start. So that's probably why I haven't gotten it. But we will get to that hopefully this week. We'll see. Um, but yeah, I'm very excited to hear all the updates on the nursing experience, and we will also. I'm sure probably before Faith and I go home for the summer, we will definitely be doing another life update regarding what summer's going to look like for us. And then Faith will be recapping her second semester nursing school, which we are all anticipating that recap. Um,
Yes.
but I'm excited for the classes I'm taking this year. I'm taking 17 credits, so just 5 classes. It will be a little bit different for me just because I'm very used to taking only 4 classes, and also I'm very used to having all my classes after 2 p.m. So going to class in the morning will be a little bit of a culture shock for me this semester, but we'll get used to it. I'm sure it won't be bad probably after the first month. But I'm taking digital media typography, which I believe is another web design class, which I'm very excited because the professor that um, I had last semester that taught my digital media web class is actually teaching the same class, and she was very good. So, very excited to have her again. I'm also taking, as to no surprise by the title, an introduction to film class. I've actually heard a lot of good things about the professor and just a lot of good things about the course. I'm very excited about it. And I'll definitely keep you guys up to date in just future podcast episodes on how that course goes, just because that just has my name all over it regarding the future. I'm also taking a etche class. At our school, we have this thing called etche, where it's these requirements that you have to fulfill that are in different categories related to English, history, just to get like your, degree in line and kind of in order. So I'm taking a Black Women Writers course, which I was reading the course description on it, and it looks like a pretty intriguing course. Definitely will also keep you guys up to date on that. It's an English class, so hopefully it won't be too much writing, which we know these English professors can get a little bit needy these days with the writing. So
Yeah.
we will let you guys know how that goes. And then I'm also taking Women Playwrights. I was reading the course description of that class a couple weeks ago, and I will essentially be analyzing old scripts and just reviewing them, how screenwriting comes into play with films, and just how women have shaped the um, screenwriting and film industry. So very excited for that one. I think that one's going to be pretty good. And then to fulfill my final requirement for my visual arts minor, I'm taking an introduction to ceramics class, which is
Um,
just like a beginners like clay pottery class. So long story short, we're in for a very adventurous semester. Both Faith and I have a lot on our plate and just a lot of interesting things that we'll be diving into. And we will obviously be giving you guys all of the updates as we go through the semester. But I'm excited what
yeah,
we both have lined up. And I'm just
yeah,
interested to see how it's all going to play out just because that's just our classes, guys. Faith and I are
yeah,
both involved on our campus. We have other stuff to do. We have lives outside of class, this podcast, all this other stuff. So we'll see how balancing everything will play out. That's going to be a lot.
yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, like
Uh,
kind of what Cam was saying, like a lot of changes are happening this semester. I
mhm.
should have mentioned this in part one about the classes that I took last semester in nursing school. But this semester is going to change a little bit because um, last semester, I know, like, if you guys are um, nursing students or have been through nursing school or have heard a little bit about nursing school, you have to do clinicals, labs, all these sorts of stuff. And so last semester, I only had one clinical for a class, but now this semester I have two clinicals. So that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
And even with clinicals, it's going to be crazy because for
Mhm.
I think one half of the semester, my clinical is going to be in the afternoon, and I've never had an afternoon clinical. So that is going to
Oh,
be very
no.
interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not going to be like as late. I think I get out. It's like from 1:30 to like 7. So it's not going
Okay.
to be like too terrible, but it's still
Mhm.
pretty late. And I know as soon as I walk out of the hospital, I'm going to be like, where's my bed? Because it's
Yeah.
gonna be pitch black,
Yeah.
and I'm probably not gonna feel like doing anything.
And
Um,
before you continue, Faith, I just want to also mention that at our school, I don't I wonder if they're going to change this, but this past semester, you guys, our food area, like our cafeteria, our one and only cafeteria on campus that we get food from, fresh food, closes at 8 o'clock p.m. all semester, every day, all day,
yep,
no exceptions. If you don't get your food, you're not you don't
you're
eat.
hungry.
You're hungry. You starve.
Yeah,
So, and I kept telling our roommates like Lisette, Amani, like even Faith, like if they don't change that this semester, we're gonna have an issue
yeah,
because like Faith said, we have these nursing students that are coming back from these late clinicals. We have people like me that have class from 6 to 8:30 at night. Like,
yeah,
what am I gonna eat when I get out of class? You know what I mean?
yeah,
And I'm
and
just praying for these freshmen. Like, how are they gonna cook?
no, that's
Yeah.
crazy. And also, let's talk about the library as well. And not to bash the library, but also to bash the library at our campus. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Especially if y'all don't go to UIS. Like last semester, like it was sad. It was really sad. Basically from like Monday through Thursday, the library, like I mean, I don't memorize like a lot of the um times, but um I believe Monday through Thursday they closed at like 9, right? Which isn't like the
Yeah.
worst thing. It's not like the worst time to like close something, but it was still a little early compared to like, 12 a.m. in the morning. And then
Yeah.
also Friday they were closed at like what, 3:30, 4:30 p.m., which is really early. And they closed on Saturday, which I was like, wait, like when I
Mm,
saw that I thought it was like a joke, but apparently it was like real. And I was like, oh my gosh, like what am I gonna
yeah.
do? Like I have so much going on. And like as a nursing student, like I just felt like I wasn't like it wasn't helpful to me, you know,
Mhm.
and I'm pretty sure a lot of nursing students could also testify to that. So I'm really hoping the library changes their hours, even though I don't know.
Yeah.
I really don't know. But also like you said, Cam, the food situation was terrible. Like I
Yeah.
remember like our roommate Lizette had a class that ended at like 8:30, and like literally every night after that class, like since the food court closed, we had to like go out to like get something to eat because we were all like
Mhm.
hungry, and
Yeah.
we just like missed the food cafeteria because it closed like
Mhm.
at 8, so we were just like, and that's why honestly like it's been like our food intake like times have been just so like off just because of
Mm.
that cafeteria, those cafeteria
Yeah.
hours. Like it's just been it's been rough, but
It
it could
has.
it could be worse. I always think
Yeah.
it could be worse, but it especially like it's kind of hard because like freshman year it was very different. um
Mhm.
I think they were open until like 11 freshman year.
Yeah.
Now they like
Yeah.
close at like 8, which is crazy. So,
Yeah.
and it's like, due to COVID and everything. And I get
Yeah.
it, but like I don't get it.
Mm-mm.
So,
At
um
at this point, I don't think at this point it's an excuse anymore just because I feel like for the most part our campus is vaccinated. And
yeah.
also at the same time, I feel like because we are a small school, um I just feel like they need to hire more people. Like I'm not
Yeah.
asking the people that are currently working there to work there all day every day, like never go home,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
at least let's get some job postings out there.
Yeah.
you know Maybe ask students to work there because we are there all the time anyway. I'm not asking people to take time out of their day to be there. It's just like you need to be a little bit more accommodating for a university campus. It would be one thing if it was like a community college, which we do live down the street from a community college, and
Oh, of course. Yeah. Yeah.
but I just think, you have to take into account people have late classes, people have different eating schedules,
Yeah.
people have different diets, people eat differently. Like, people don't always eat dinner at what, 3, 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
Because 8 o'clock was my normal dinner time before they
Yeah.
closed at 8. That was always the time where I would just get dinner, but not anymore. Um, and it's just really unfortunate because I'm always hungry for the union food when I can't have it. And then when it is open, I don't want, you know what I mean? I don't want
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's we'll see what happens. We'll obviously keep you guys up to date. I do know a lot of people from our school do listen to this podcast, so I'm sure if they hear anything that they'll be in the loop. But to our listeners that do not go to our school, you'll definitely be kept in the loop because right now times are rough.
Yeah. Mhm.
um but yeah, did you have anything else, like any like this semester nursing school updates, Faith? I know I cut you off. uh
Um,
I think you ended at your clinical. One of your clinicals goes from 2 to 7.
oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, and also like Cam, I'm taking, 14 or 17 hours, which
Mm-hmm.
is actually surprisingly not the most credit hours I've actually taken. I've
Mm-hmm.
actually taken like an 18 credit hour semester, which
Yeah.
I didn't even know I was taking 18 credits. I actually thought I was taking 17 credits last
Mm-hmm.
spring, but when I looked at my transcript at the end of the semester, I was like, oh my gosh, like I literally was taking like 18 credits and I didn't even know until,
Yeah. And I
after
just
after I took all my classes. So I
yeah.
was really shocked. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy. As I was saying, like, there's classes that have clinicals, there's classes that have labs, in nursing school. So it's a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously, I know it's gonna be a little harder, than first semester, but hopefully everything will be okay. And I just need to breathe and
Yeah.
relax, because I'm gonna be honest, like sometimes it just takes that for you to just do better, do better on tests, just take time for yourself, because honestly, and I know it's hard because you know especially like me, sometimes I can be a workaholic,
Mhm.
but just relaxing, and honestly, those were those times where I actually felt like I did better on tests. I was paying attention more
Mhm.
and just absorbing the material better. I think
Mhm.
is when, after I spent time with myself and relaxed. So that's
Mhm.
another advice that I would give to someone. Um,
Yeah, I definitely need to do that too. I feel like if anything, I felt so burnt out when I came home for Christmas break. Like I
oh,
literally like dropped all my bags in my room and like crashed on my couch because I was just done
yeah.
with the semester. Hopefully these professors have a little more sympathy this year because we can't be doing all that next or this year. um
I'm gonna
but
be honest too, like this break, I told myself, oh my gosh, I'm gonna wake up at like 6 a.m. I'm gonna work out. I'm gonna do all this stuff. And then when I look back at the break, because I'm starting next week, if anyone, is curious, I'm like, oh my God, I
yeah,
really did nothing. Like I woke up at like what, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the morning, didn't work out, didn't really do much. But you know what? I
yeah.
gave myself grace because I knew that in like during the semester I was up at like 6 5 a.m,
Mhm.
even 4 a.m for on clinical days. So
Yeah.
I was like, maybe my body just needs rest.
Yeah. No, I'm right there with you. Like I the earliest I've woken up this winter break is 11 a.m. So if that just goes to show how tired,
Yeah.
one can be after semester. I know that sounds really bad. Um but I keep telling myself I deserve it. I just I'd rather go into the semester restful than I wish I would have rested more, but we've been sleeping in that bed. We
Yeah,
love.
we
Um,
do. Especially my queen size bed. Like
yeah.
I've missed it. I really have missed it. I
Mhm.
mean, Twin XL isn't like the worst thing, but
Mhm.
like sometimes I dream about sleeping in my queen size bed.
Mhm.
And if nobody has a queen, and if anyone does not have a queen size bed, get a queen size bed. I know it's expensive, but like a queen
Mhm.
size bed does wonders. You have more room, and it's
Mhm.
it's just it's just better, honestly.
Yeah.
So I would
That's
encourage I would encourage someone who like does not have a queen size bed, get a queen size bed right now. You will
That
thank
is
yourself later.
definitely, yes, that is definitely an expense that we will be getting after undergrad because it looks great.
Yes.
Um,
And one thing that I will say is go to IKEA. Especially in winter,
yes,
because that is what my family did today. We went to IKEA. My
yes,
mom's like, we should go, to this place. I'm like, Mom, IKEA. And we did. And we found a nice bed frame for my brother because he's going from a full to a queen right now. So yay. And
yes,
so I'm really happy. I'm really happy for him. So it's good.
yes, for sure. IKEA, man, we are really just plugging a lot of brands.
We are we're
We
not
would
even really
love, we
we're
would
not
love a
even.
sponsorship.
Yes, honestly, IKEA, if you can sponsor us right now, we would love it.
I was even telling Faith on the last podcast episode that I've been and I'm even getting more into this New Year's. I'm a very big person on manifestation and speaking things into existence. So, we're just gonna be speaking a lot of stuff into existence this
Yes,
year. It's
honestly.
like, law of attraction, all that fun stuff. Um, but yeah, going into our last topic of discussion, we will be talking about the future of this podcast. Now, as I said earlier when we first started recording, Current Talk will be 3 years old in November. We started this podcast November of 2019 during our freshman year of high school. And we definitely have the intentions of keeping it going after we graduate. So don't worry, we will still be here. As far as I'm just picturing it in the future, we will try our best to have episodes up on a weekly basis. But, the transition I keep hearing from my friends, I keep hearing from content creators, I just keep hearing from people in general, the transition from undergrad to the real world is a lot. It is a big, big jump, and there's just a lot of steps. There's a lot of different things that one must go through. There's going to be a lot of moving parts for the both of us. So, if there is a week that there's not a podcast episode, maybe even 2 weeks, maybe even a month, bear with us, especially this semester. We're both very busy people, but we will try our very hardest. And just know that we're not going away anytime soon. We will still be here, whether it's every week, every month. We will be here. And with that, with college graduation comes, a little bit change in content. So, because we will eventually no longer be college students. We're hoping to incorporate more storytelling into our podcast, whether it will be book reviews, us just talking about our favorite books or different stories that we've read, or just having guests on here sharing their story, or even us, or even us giving you guys our real time life updates of what's been going on in our lives. We will definitely be incorporating that more into the podcast. And this was just a little brain dump that I had. I think we have plenty of time to plan this out simply because it is January and November is literally a whole year away from now. In spirit of 3 years of the podcast, I think we should do either possible merch, hint, hint, nudge, nudge, or some giveaways, hint, hint, nudge, nudge, depending on, just like what we find, what is out there, and then just quantities as well and how that would go about. But obviously, we have plenty of time to plan that out, think that out. But at the end of the day, I just at one point want to give back to our listeners, you guys listening to this podcast right now. It genuinely means the world to the both of us that you take time out of your day to listen to us talk about anything, our lives. Like, it literally is, a dream. It's everything for us. And we just want to give back to you guys in some way, shape, or form, whether it's a giveaway, whether it's, something. So definitely stay tuned. I have a lot of ideas. I know Faith has a lot of ideas regarding just like things we want to do with the podcast and even going forward of what it will look like in the future. But, that's what the future is for. We have plenty of time to figure all that out. And we're still very young. We're 20-year-old college students. We have our whole lives to, do what we want to accomplish. And with that, we are at minute 54. We have
Wow.
not recorded a podcast this long in quite some time, but it was
Yeah.
very much needed, especially since this will be our last life update episode for a little bit. This is as much as we know as of right now what's going on. I'm pretty sure after this episode goes up, which will probably be late January, early February, we will start getting back into doing our guest interviews, a crowd favorite. Um, I love interviewing people. I think that's a new
Yes.
passion I've discovered. That's something I love to do and I look forward to doing. And we have a couple of pre recorded interviews of a couple people that we actually recorded last year, but they never ended up getting up to the podcast. So we will be uploading those. And we are reaching out to a lot of exciting people and just, getting stuff together for just other exciting interviews that we can hopefully have on here. And again, our email, our podcast Instagram is always open. Or if you just want to reach out to Faith and I individually. If you're watching this on YouTube, all of our socials, contact information, links to everything will be in the description of this video. Or if you're listening to this podcast on Apple, Spotify, Google, a regular podcast software, definitely have all of that. Will be in the description, all of our contacts. If you have any guest ideas for us, if you just have any ideas for us, the door is always open. But yeah, I think that's it for this
Yeah.
episode. I know that was a mouthful. Um, and I know we said quite a bit in this episode, but before we get to the hour mark of this episode, I just want to say thank you guys so much again. I truly can't say thank you enough. Thank you so much again for all your support on Current Talk Podcast. You guys are the reason why we do this podcast. Um, you guys are the reason why it's been as successful as it has been. And we're just very, truly excited to see where this podcast goes in the future. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Thank you.
yes. And as always, if you have any podcast topic ideas or if you just want to add to the conversation, feel free to DM us at our Instagram, which is at Current Talk Podcast, or you can send us an email at currenttalkpodcast@gmail.com. And yeah, this recording will be uploaded to our YouTube channel, which we just launched last week. Definitely go subscribe to Current Talk on YouTube. And we
Yay.
also have a TikTok account, which we will be doing 30-second to minute long snippets and previews of our podcast episodes there. So definitely go follow us on all of our new socials. And yeah, that's going to be it for today's episode. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we will talk to you guys in our next episode of Current Talk Podcast. Bye.
Bye.